Wee wee, wee finnin, wee finnin, wee finnin, wee finnin, wee finnin, wee finnin, wee finnin.
So, this is our statement. You'll be doing your own, of course. At 5:30 p.m. on the 3rd of November, after a verbal altercation, Ferdinand Ray, 11, armed with a stick, struck our son, Bruno Vallon, in the face.
Gingerbread. Delicious. At least, I guess, all of this has got us a new recipe.
I'd have preferred it if it hadn't cost my son some teeth.
Serge, they've known about the risk for 2 years. Yeah, some sort of internal report, but no undesirable effects were formally identified. No, they took no precautions, they didn't insure, nothing in the annual accounts. Impaired motor skills and stability problems. In short, looks like you're permanently pissed. My son has not disfigured your son.
Your son has disfigured my son. Come back at 5 and see his mouth and teeth.
I was wondering, not that it's at all important. What started the quarrel? Bruno won't say a blind word about it.
Bruno refused to let Ferdinand join his gang.
Did you know that Bruno had a gang?
No, fantastic.
And he also called Ferdinand a grass.
Did you know that Bruno had a gang?
I've just said no. No, I didn't.
And why is it fantastic?
Because I had my own gang.
Me too.
And what does that entail?
Well, about 5 or 6 other kids, totally devoted to you, ready to lay down their lives. Like in Spartacus. When I was leader of my gang, when I was 12, I fought Didier Leglue, who was bigger than me in single combat.
What's that got to do with it?
No, you're right, it's got nothing to do with it.
We're not talking about single combat.
Yeah.
The boys weren't fighting.
I know, I just suddenly had this memory.
So, there's not that big a difference, though?
Yes, there is a very big difference.
What?
With Didier Leglue, we'd agreed to fight.
Did you beat the shit out of him? Look, we are not taking a medicine off the market just because 2 or 3 people are bumping into the furniture.
They're terrible, these pharmaceutical companies. Profit, profit, profit.
You shouldn't be listening to my conversation.
You're not obliged to have it in front of me. Still, it's a funny job you've got.
Meaning?
This has got nothing to do with us, Michelle.
Funny job.
And what is it that you do?
I have an ordinary job.
And what is an ordinary job?
I told you I sell saucepans.
And doorknobs.
And toilet fittings and many other things.
Ah! Now we're talking toilet fittings. I'm really interested in that.
Alain.
No, I'm really interested in that. I'm interested in toilet fittings.
Why shouldn't you be?
How many types are there?
2 different systems, push button or overhead flush.
I see.
Either the water comes down from above or up from under, depending on the feet.
Well, yes.
I could introduce you to one of my warehousemen, if you're interested in this sort of thing. You'd have to leg it out to Saint-Denis-la-Plaine.
You seem very much on top of the subject.
Are you intending to punish Ferdinand in any way? You can continue this plumbing conversation in a more appropriate setting.
Veronique, if we want to reprimand our child, we'll do so in our own way and without having to account to anyone.
Absolutely.
What do you mean, absolutely?
Well, it's their child. They can punish him as they please. It's their prerogative.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
I don't think it is their prerogative.
Really? Explain.
Well,
That's enough, Alan. That's enough now with the mobile. You pay attention to what's going on here. Shit.
Yeah, call me back and read it to me. What's the matter with you? What are you doing? Have you gone mad? Serge heard everything.
Good, it drives me mad. That mobile, endlessly.
Look, Annette, I'm doing you a big favour being here in the first place.
extraordinary thing to say.
Oh, I'm going to throw up. I feel dizzy.
Well, look, go to the lavatory. Go to the lavatory if you want to throw up.
Give us some moxidil.
Are you sure it's not the confetti?
It was made yesterday.
Ugh, don't touch me.
Oh, look, calm down, Woof Woof, calm down.
Please, don't get upset about
According
nothing.
to my husband, everything to do with the house, school or garden is my department.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. And I can understand why. It's deathly.
If it's so deathly, then why have children in the first place?
Perhaps Ferdinand senses your lack of interest.
Lack of interest.
Well, you just said that you didn't want to... Oh my God! Go! Oh, fetch the ball, quick! Oh! It's nerves. It's a panic attack.
What are we going to do about the kokoschka?
Well, we could put a bit of Mr. Clean on it. Spray it with Mr. Clean, but the problem is how to dry it. We could... You could sponge it off and we could just put a bit of perfume on it.
Perfume?
Yeah, use my Kuros, I never wear it.
It'll warp!
Well, then we can go over it with a hairdryer and then flatten it out with a pile of other books. Or we could iron it like they do with banknotes.
Oh my God! What a nightmare! Horrible! I can't believe she puked all over my books.
Yeah, put some on the people of the tundra, you...
I mean, if you're going to spew, you go to the proper place. Oh, this is disgusting.
I was pushing it a bit with the shithouse systems.
Oh, you were brilliant.
Good answers, don't you think?
Brilliant. The warehouse man, that was brilliant.
What an arsehole. What did he call her?
Woof woof.
That's right, woof woof.
My son was insulted and he reacted. If I'm attacked, I defend myself, especially if I find myself alone, confronted by a gang.
Puking seems to have perked you up. Do everything the doctors want you to do. They've given you Antral. Wait a minute, wait a minute, don't go away. Antral's your crap, isn't it? My mother's taking it.
Thousands of people take it.
Mum, you stop taking that medication right away. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
When you murdered that hamster...
Murdered?
Yes.
I murdered the hamster.
You have done your very best to make us feel guilty. But your virtue went straight out the window once you decided to become a killer.
I absolutely did not murder the hamster.
Worse, you left it shivering with terror in a hostile environment. That poor hamster's bound to have been eaten by a dog or a rat.
I thought the hamster was going to be happy to be liberated. I thought it was going to run down the gutters jumping for joy. Veronique, I find it ridiculous to be in the dock all of a sudden over this hamster saga that you've seen fit to reveal. It has nothing to do with the present situation. And I find it ridiculous to be called a killer in my own home.
What's your own home got to do?
My home! The doors of which I have opened wide in the spirit of reconciliation to people who ought to be grateful to me for it.
Don't you feel any guilt?
No, I don't feel no guilt whatsoever. I've always found that creature repulsive. I'm ecstatic that it's gone.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Have you gone crazy as well? Their son bashes Bruno and I get shat on because of a hamster? Fuck the hamster!
What about her?
She doesn't need any. Come on, then, take it. Drink! Who cares?
Is alcohol bad for you?
It's wonderful. Anyway, why can't we take things a bit more lightly? Why does everything have to be so exhausting?
You think too much. Women think too much.
There's an original remark. I bet that's thrown you.
Just tell him, remind him that the shareholder is king.
Jesus! Really, I don't understand you. That was completely irresponsible.
My whole fucking life is on this!
If you ask me, everyone's feeling fine. Everyone's much happier, don't you think? Men are so wedded to their gadgets. It belittles them, takes away all their authority. A man needs to keep his hands free, if you ask me. Even an attaché case is enough to put me off. There was a man once I found really attractive. And then I saw him with a square shoulder bag. A man's shoulder bag, but that was it. There really is nothing worse than a shoulder bag. Although there's also nothing worse than a mobile phone. A man ought to give the impression that he's alone, if you ask me. I mean, at least that he's capable of being alone. I also have a John Wayne-ish idea of virility. And what was it he had? A Colt 45. A device for creating a vacuum. A man who can't give the impression that he's alone and really has no texture.
As for you, Darjeeling, I fail to see what's to be gained by getting so publicly pissed. Tell her.
Tell her what?
Everything you know about that crap you're peddling.
How are you, madam?
How can he tell her he doesn't know the first thing about it?
Does it hurt? Ah, I see. Well, that's what the operation's for. Oh, and the other leg, yes. I see. No, I'm not an orthopedist.
Oh,
she keeps calling me doctor.
Oh, hang up.
Are you experiencing any problems with your balance? No, not at all. Don't believe any of that. All the same, perhaps it would be better for you to stop taking it just for now until you've had a chance to get quietly through your operation. You sound like you're in fine.
Yeah, hello, Mum. Right, is that clear? Stop taking the medication.
Let's get out of here, Alan. These people are monsters.
No.
No, I want to drink some more. I want to get pissed out of my head. This bitch hurls my fucking handbag across the room and no one bats an eyelid. I want to get drunk.
She's yelling now, like a regimental sergeant major.
Oh, what? And she doesn't yell? She wasn't yelling when she said your son was well to clout our son.
My son did do well to clout your son. At least my son's not a snivelling little poof. Oh, Alan, what are we still doing in this? That's what I think of you fucking tulip flowers!
Yes, sweetheart. Oh, good. Does that mean you're going to be able to do your homework at Annabelle's? Yes. No. We haven't found her. Yes, I went all the way to the supermarket. But you see, the thing is, love, Nibbles is very resourceful. She'll find what she needs. Things that fall out of rubbish bins. Acorns, snails, worms. Look, we've got enough to worry about with your brother at the moment.
The creature's probably stuffing his face as we speak.
No.
What do we know?